In this module, you will learn what NFTs are, how gas fees and smart contracts work, and much more. For now, let's start with blockchains. What is the blockchain? Imagine a classroom where the teacher is tasked to hand out pocket money to the students. She has a list that keeps track of how much money each student has and hands students their cash if they request it. He also charges a small fee for doing this work. This is traditional fiat and money system, where the teacher is a traditional bank. The bank has control over everyone's money and able to change balances if it chooses to. But students come up with an ingenious way to cut the teacher out of the money system. Every student grabs a piece of paper and writes down how much money they and each of their classmates have. This way, they no longer need a teacher to keep track of everyone's balances, and so the system becomes decentralized. When Lisa wants to send Mark $1, she just shouts, "I'm sending Mark $1." Upon hearing this, everyone subtracts $1 from Lisa's balance and adds it to Mark's balance on the piece of paper. To make sure all papers are identical and no one made a mistake, students check each other's papers at the end of each class and make sure they are identical. This is the concept of how decentralized money works. There is no central authority. Instead, transactions are run by each participant. This new system works so well that when hearing about it, other students come in the door, grab a piece of paper, and join the class. And as the class grows, the shouting gets louder and louder to a point where the students simply cannot write fast enough to keep up with the amount of transactions. To make matters worse, writing down transactions and checking at the end of each class for mistakes is becoming increasingly tiring work for the students. And after all, the teacher is still there, more than happy to do the work by himself for a small fee. The students realize they need to distribute rewards to get their classmates to do the work and keep the system running. So they come up with an idea. During each class, they'll give a participating student $1 as reward, created from thin air and simply added to their balance. This could solve the problem of work incentive, but the students still cannot keep up with the sheer number of transactions. To solve both problems at once, whoever gets this dollar can also decide what transactions to include from the shouting and simply ignore the rest. But how do they select the winner of this $1 prize? They cannot just select them randomly, since somebody would need to do the random selection. That person could easily cheat and pretend like it was random him every time. Enter the second ingenious idea, a class-wide math contest. Everybody gets the same math problem, and whoever finds the solution first wins the $1 prize and gets to choose which transactions to include during that class. When the first math contest is over, the next one begins and continues for perpetuity. This is how mining works, with the math contest winner being the miner or validator. The validator, who solves the math problem first, gets a crypto prize and can choose what transactions to include in the next block. What are gas fees? As time goes on, Lisa wants to send Mark $10, so she begins shouting, "Sending $10 to Mark." But whoever is winning the math contest and therefore choosing which transactions to include keeps ignoring her. So Lisa instead starts shouting, $10 to Mark and $1 to whoever includes this transaction. And suddenly, Lisa's transaction is included by the math contest winner. This is how gas fees work. You essentially pay the validator a bribe to include your transaction. Since there are a limited number of spots in one block, the largest bribes are included by the validator. What are NFTs? As time moves on, the students realize they can't keep track of not just dollar balances, but everything they own. Pencils, books, bags, everything. So now Lisa's balance looks like this: $15, one pink pony bag, and one history book. Although dollars are interchangeable or fungible, there is only one pink pony bag in the classroom, and now everybody knows it's Lisa's. That pink pony bag is the NFT. It's unique, and its ownership is decentralized on the ledger. NFTs are essentially non-fungible items stored on the decentralized blockchain and can tie to any real-world or digital asset. This is the core innovation of NFTs. What are smart contracts? The students come up with another innovation. Until now, each student had their own balance. But what if they create a fictional balance with a set of rules? For example, if Lisa sends the fictional balance $10, the fictional balance automatically forwards $9 to Mark and sends $1 to Luke. This fictional balance can be programmed to have any rule imaginable. This balance can also start out with 100 virtual books on it and send them out one by one to whoever sends them $10. The fictional balance is the smart contract, which can have any set of rules and is therefore programmable. These smart contracts can be programmed and posted onto the blockchain, just like any transaction. How does NFT minting work? Lisa is just not a student but also a hobby artist. She draws pictures of monkeys in her spare time in Microsoft Paint and uploads the pictures onto the internet. She also likes money. Being a smart girl, she figures, what if I sell my pictures to my classmates by adding these pictures one by one to my balance next to my pink pony bag? Then I tell my classmates that they can purchase them if they want to. She hits a problem though. The classmates don't trust Lisa enough to send their money first and then hope to receive the monkey picture in exchange. So Lisa exclaims, "If you do not trust me, you will make a rule written on paper." She goes ahead and creates a fictional balance and writes the following rule on it. Whoever sends this balance $10 receives one monkey picture. This balance has 10 monkey pictures on it. First come, first served. Once all 10 monkey pictures have been sold, the $100 are sent to Lisa. This is how NFT minting works. A smart contract holds the NFTs and people can mint by sending it a predetermined amount of money to receive the NFT in exchange. Gasworks explained. Before class, the students find out about Lisa's upcoming NFT sale and get all excited about it. They know that once class starts, everyone will start screaming, sending $10 to the balance with monkey pictures. But there are only 10 monkey pictures available. In order to get a picture, students will need to bribe the class math contest winner with large bribes to be placed in the first 10 transactions. So the students start a bribing war where they pay huge bribes to the math contest winner to put their transaction in front of the rest. This is a gas war, where gas costs spiral out of control and NFT minters often pay more in gas fees than the actual NFT.